from an affluent family. My family owned a large mansion on the slopes of a mountain. It was a grand mansion with gray walls and a vast garden. Numerous servants had been at my beck and call since my childhood. They would bring me food when I was hungry, play games with me if I wanted, and comfort me when I cried. I used to enjoy playing with my dog in the vast garden. The gardener would secretly give me fruits at times, much to my delight. I love eating fruits. However, as I grew older, these things started to lose their charm. As I mentioned, the mansion was on the side of a mountain, and I had no peers. Besides the servants and my parents, there was no one else. Occasionally, my father's business associates would visit. Either they didn't have children of my age, or they didn't bring them along. I didn't go to school either. My family would hire private tutors. I had never seen anyone my age throughout my life. This continued until I turned 22. At the age of 22, I managed to escape from the mansion, yet the lack of someone my age was not the main reason for my escape. I am 25 now. Let me tell you what happened to me. I was in my 22nd year during some month of autumn. I was descending the stone staircase to the living room. I was wearing a brown t-shirt and blue jeans. My footsteps echoed through the mansion. It must have been around 4 in the morning. The servants were still asleep in their rooms. But I was here because my father had called me. My father hadn't bothered to come to me. He had my phone ring to summon me to the living room. I descended to the living room, but there was no one to be seen. All the plush white couches in the spacious room were empty. There were a few plates on the small table in the middle, but I had eaten from them the previous night. My father must be in the garden. Suddenly, I felt some movement under the small table. Bayringo, my dog Bayringo, emerged from under the table, barking. He was an old dog now. Why? What happened? Oh, I asked. Is there something bothering you? Bayringo continued to look at me with sad eyes. Maybe he was hungry, I thought. I started to walk towards the kitchen to give him some food, but he barked again. I turned back to him, and he headed towards the door leading to the garden. Wasn't it supposed to be locked? I chased after him, calling, Bayringo, come here. Bayringo ran away. Eventually, he disappeared from my sight. I searched for him for about 15 minutes. This was the first time I had witnessed such a thing. Finally, I saw his curled, sandy-colored body under a wooden chair. I rushed to him. What I saw shocked me. Bayringo's eyes weren't moving. Neither was his body. Someone had killed him. His belly was slit open. With fear, I dropped his body to the ground. I ran into the mansion, crying. There was commotion inside, with servants running around. When they saw me, relief washed over their faces. My father, dressed in an expensive suit, came down the stairs and hugged me. Axel, where were you? I was aware that I was crying like a baby, but I couldn't help it. I eventually explained what had happened to my father. He thought it might be some animals since we were in the woods. He didn't consider it a significant issue. Just as he and my mother were about to leave, a question came to my mind that I needed to ask my father. Dad, why did you call me this morning? My voice trembled. What do you mean? I don't remember calling you this morning. He said, I didn't see the need to come to get you. I didn't call you, he added. I was bewildered. Dad, you called me, remember I said. He replied sternly, Axel, there's no record of me calling you. John, are you joking? I was getting angry. Dad, what joke? I'm not confused about Bayringo being dead, he snapped. Axel, what joke is this? Have your breakfast and get over it. Before I could say anything else, he slammed the door in my face. I went to the kitchen reluctantly. Throughout the following hours, I stayed in my room. I tried to forget about my dead dog by browsing the internet. Only a few servants passed by, and they hardly cared about me. After a while, my phone rang unexpectedly. I left my computer and answered. It was my mother. Honey, can you come downstairs? She said. We didn't get a chance to talk much today. I was going to ask if I had the day off, but she hung up. So I went downstairs in my morning outfit. Surprisingly, I didn't encounter any servants on my way down. I quickly glanced at the living room, but my mother wasn't there. I recalled the events from the morning. I went to the garden. My eyes searched for my mother, but instead, Mr. McCartney, the gardener, was trimming the branches of a tree in a corner. When he saw me, he smiled. He had also aged over the years. Trying to smile back, I greeted him. Did I used to laugh with this man when I was little? But he seemed like a kind person. Being formal with everyone in our family was considered a tradition. He said, What breeze brought you here? My mother had called him. Did you see her? I asked. MC Carney thought for a moment. No, I didn't see her, he said. But we can look together if you want. If it pleases you, of course, he added, winking. Did I used to find this man amusing when I was little? But he seemed like a lovable character. I accepted his offer. We started walking in the vast garden together. McCartney told me that something had happened to him this morning. Yes, I said involuntarily, I love that dog. McCartney said with sorrow, unlike my father. He was a gentleman. He was the one who should have been truly wealthy. He walked in silence for a while. Then he looked at me and asked if I wanted to talk about what happened this morning. I don't want to talk about it. I said, of course, you know best, said McCartney. I don't know how much we walked. Suddenly, I was lost in my thoughts. But Mr. McCartney stopped me by grabbing my shoulder. I turned to him. This bush rustled, he said, and he went to check. I noticed that the weather had strangely darkened. It was only 5 in the afternoon. I was starting to get bored. Mr. McCartney, I called. No response. I called again. Still no response. I yelled while moving forward to where Mr. McCartney had gone. Sir, I was getting increasingly scared by now. I felt something under my foot. It was Mr. McCartney's head. As I realized this, darkness engulfed my vision. After that incident, I didn't talk to anyone. Nobody really cared about me anyway. Only a few servants occasionally visited. Then I escaped from that mansion. I left behind the terrifying memories. These experiences haunt my dreams, but at least I'm miles away from that mansion now.
Please click on the subscribe button and log into your account to subscribe to our channel. And do not forget to like and comment on the videos. Subscribing is free. I am waiting for your support and comments. Thank you, everyone.